It's easier for when we're walking around. Yeah.
Now we're live.
Do we have to wait 10 seconds?
Yeah.
Nope.
No, we're
Here.
We're actually
live.
going live.
We're live now.
We are live from San Francisco, from Westpex.
Yeah.
Can we see comments? Is that set up?
Yeah. Comments should be right here.
Perfect. So if anyone at any point, hello, Rick, if anybody at any point has any questions about Westpex, or if there's anything they want to see over the next couple of days, anyone they want to hear from, just drop a comment. We're going to be keeping an eye on those. But yeah, Michael, this is our first live stream we've done in person together.
Yes. Yeah.
And the first we've done not in our, well, you were on vacation for one, but the first we've done not in our respective
Original
offices
settings,
or anything.
yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, we're at the Marriott San Francisco Airport Waterfront Hotel in Burlingame, California, right outside San Francisco.
Yeah.
For the, I want to say 48th edition of Westpex, is it? 48th Westpex.
We both got here yesterday.
We got in yesterday.
It was nice to see some.
I
familiar
was gonna say,
faces and-
we got in around lunchtime yesterday, and I
Yeah.
feel like I've already seen more people in like a couple of hours
Yeah.
than I had like even emailed or spoken to like,
Yeah.
over the course of the last year and a half.
Yeah.
So even though the show opens at 10 o'clock today, it's a little bit after 8 o'clock now. So
Yeah.
2 hours until the show opens to the public.
It should be open to dealers right now.
Dealers are going to start coming in. They'll have some time to set up. I see a lot of people set up yesterday, and
Yeah.
there's a lot of good stock that I'm excited to sneak away from the booth and dig through personally. But yeah, we're here at Westpex. Here's the show program.
Yeah.
The theme this year is celebrating the cable cars.
Yes.
So this is the 50th.
We talked a little bit about this before. They do a theme each year.
We do, exactly. They do a theme each year. Urban renewal of like the 60s and 70s is one of my pet peeves in life. As anybody who knows me might know.
Yeah.
And the cable cars are so synonymous with San Francisco.
Yeah.
The thought that they were ever endangered, and the thought that there was ever talk about getting rid of cable car, like that's like getting rid of the Golden Gate Bridge.
Which would be tough to do.
Which would be tough to do.
Yeah.
So the fact that there was even a discussion about whether or not the cable cars would continue to survive. But Proposition Q, which was passed 50 years ago, is the theme this year, which saves the cable cars. So that'll be a fun theme. I'll probably pick up some souvenirs and Cinderellas and covers and stuff like that. But yeah, we're here. Glad to see both of you together. We are, it's fun to be doing one of these live casts in person.
Yeah.
So over the next 3 days, there's going to be a ton of talks.
Yes. I got the events right here.
Yeah. So
starting off is the opening ceremony.
Opening ceremony is at 9:30, and then throughout the course of the day, there's meetings, UN Postal Administration, Western Cover Society, Smithsonian National Postal Museum, Elliot Gruber, who we were able to catch up with a bit yesterday.
Yeah,
He's giving a
I've
talk.
never met him before.
He's a great guy. I hadn't seen him. The last time I saw him was like the day the pandemic broke out, really. So I sort of measure things on either side of the last time I saw Elliot. So he's going to be giving a talk today. And then the other thing that's fun is Skylar Rumsey has an auction.
Yeah. All day starting at 10.
And yesterday as well.
Yeah.
And people go to auctions less and less when it's just an auction. Like if you just hold the sale, not many people are going to show up. But when you tie it into a show like this, people are here already. They want that experience of sitting on the floor of an auction. Yeah. So so Skylar's auction. What are we doing?
Just checking something. All right. Yeah.
So again, the fact that there's an auction at and we should mention to people, dealers are loading in if you hear background noise.
Which is exciting.
It is. I don't think people are going to be annoyed if they hear dealers like, hey, like help me get my stuff set up. That's just part of the thing. But to have the Skylar Rumsey auction, he's awesome. To have these talks, I haven't seen the exhibits yet. People were setting them up.
When we walked in, the
frames were empty. When I walked in yesterday, the frames were completely empty still. Now they're full. We're gonna have to go film some stuff at the exhibits. Will be a lot of fun.
Maybe we can even talk to some of the people who
are exhibiting.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So I was gonna say, we're going to be filming over the next 3 days. We're going to talk to dealers. We're going to talk to committee members, for the show.
They've got the banquet on Saturday.
Banquet on Saturday night is going to be a lot of fun. I haven't been to a stamp banquet in years. Obviously, I don't think anyone has. But it's exciting. I don't know, just being here is really thrilling. It's been too long. I don't.
But you went to St. Louis.
I went to St. Louis, which was a fun show, and it was great to see a lot of people and great to be back.
Yeah.
But Westpex is bigger.
What's the feel showing up the day before St. Louis as compared to showing up the day before Westpex?
St. Louis was again, it was great, but it was one small ballroom.
Yeah.
dealers were still pretty spaced out here. Where I mean, it's
this
a little
looks
bit
like a
more
stamp
spread
show.
out. It does look like a stamp
This
show.
looks like a stamp.
And
show.
again, St. Louis didn't have exhibits.
Yeah.
This has exhibits. I don't know. St. Louis didn't have a banquet because there were no exhibits.
Right.
It was more like a Bourse. It was fun.
Yeah.
You go for a couple hours, you shop. Westpex, you get here, and it's like I can spend the next 3 days here
Yeah.
and still be sad when I leave that I didn't do everything I
Because
wanted
there's
to do.
multiple rooms.
There's 3-4 rooms of dealers, however you want to
Yeah.
break it down. I think 70 dealers or so, and other
Really?
societies and administrations and stuff. You feel like, okay, I'm locked in for the next couple of
We're
days.
back.
Exactly, we're back.
Yeah.
There's stuff to do. There's stuff to keep us entertained.
Yeah.
That's the feeling I'm getting that I'm so excited. I
Yeah.
mean, again, just the number of people I've bumped into in the elevator.
Mhm.
Then you multiply, you look around and you're like, wait, that's just a
Yeah.
fraction of the
Well,
people.
it was a nice story. I think it was Allison had mentioned the other day. The waitress came by and said that she recognized some familiar faces.
She'd been
because
working
she'd been
here
working there
6 years, and she
Yeah.
remembered people from past Westpexes,
Yeah.
which is awesome.
Yeah.
That even after it's been over 2 years since the
Yeah.
last Westpex. It
Yeah.
was April of 2019.
Yeah.
Was the last Westpex. The fact that they remember us, and even when I checked in, like you mentioned, you're from the stamp show, and it's
Yeah.
like, oh, the stamp show. Where he goes, isn't usually in April. Like they remember these little things.
Yeah.
So we should also. You mentioned Allison,
Yes.
HR Harmer's office manager, is
Yeah.
behind the camera, along with Kaylee, Michael's wife, and Corey. Our
Snap to shoot. Should we turn the camera around?
should we turn the camera around?
It's up to you guys.
Let's do it.
Okay.
So I can't see anything.
No, that's
There's Allison
Yeah.
and Kaylee and Corey behind the camera for the rest of the weekend.
yeah.
So these are the people who make CWP happen.
Yeah.
We're
And
the
Claire too. as
and
well,
and,
that,
and
you know,
Claire remotely from
Yes.
from New Hampshire. But yeah, but they're the essential ones. We're the
Yeah.
we're the garnish, really. We're the parsley of conversations with philatelists. Allison's shaking her head. She has to put up with me daily in the office, so
Yeah. Yeah.
she's used to it.
No, but
Should
I
be
mean,
used
it's,
to it. But we're back.
it's yeah.
Back. I mean,
we're
just,
back.
just seeing, Gordon Eubanks,
Mhm.
who was sitting here
Yes.
earlier and
He-
who's wandering
I
and
feel
who,
like he's gonna be pulled in every which direction.
yes, I was
this
yeah,
weekend.
he's the VIP of Westpex basically.
Mhm.
But
They've been so helpful
he's
getting
so,
us.
I was gonna even
to
this
where
morning
we
just
are right now.
emailing us like,
Yeah.
hey, are you guys all set up? Do you have Wi-Fi? Do you have this and that? Gordon I think it's his first year as
Yeah.
board chairman, and he has really taken that job and made
Yeah.
it his own. He has just gone above and beyond for Westpex. He's been so supportive of us, and he's walking back towards us now. But just again, I love having somebody who fights for the dealers.
Mhm.
Somebody who said,
Yeah.
we've waited long enough. The dealers need a chance to get back and
Yeah.
go to a show and make some money. And I think the dealers, really deserve a champion like that.
Mhm.
And I think that it's amazing having Gordon fill that role. So
Yeah.
huge thanks to
Yeah.
him. And that sort of segues into another.
The dealers pay for the show.
The dealers do pay for the
They
show.
pay,
You
yeah.
can't. I mean, as much as people love the exhibits and the talks and the
Yeah.
everything, that you need the dealers. That's the
Yeah.
backbone. That's the heart of a show.
Yeah.
And we'll also mention briefly, but I know we'll talk a lot more about it moving forward. But some other big philatelic news that broke last week is that this coming September is Siegel. Is it October?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Siegel announced some big sales,
Yeah.
including Scarsdale collection of Canada, Arthur Prisbill's collection of
Yeah.
everything great, and Gordon Eubanks's 1851 U.S. imperfect issues, which again we'll talk more about that later. But that's
Yeah.
sort of the biggest breaking philatelic news of the last week or two, I would say.
Yeah.
Is the preview brochures are on Siegel's website and are worth checking out. But once those catalogs come out, we'll have so much to talk about with those
Yeah.
catalogs.
I always like those updates that we do. We show material that
Yeah,
that we're
no,
excited about, and then
absolutely.
follow up days afterwards.
absolutely.
To
So,
talk about.
I'm trying-
So you talked about what was going on Friday. Did we talk
Yes.
yet about what's going on?
But I was
Saturday?
going to say, let's jump around a little bit. I know people love watching us just read a program. Where do you 26? This is the content people love. So what are you
I
excited
have
for?
the
So,
book open here too.
tomorrow morning, 11 a.m., Scott English from the APS is
Yeah.
addressing the membership. He's doing his town hall, which
Mhm.
is always fun. It's a very, he gives a little update financially, membership wise, all those things.
Yeah.
But then the real key is there's a Q&A. It's like a discussion with the
Yeah.
membership. I
I haven't been to one of those before.
it's fun. You literally go straight to the top. It's like the executive director taking questions from the membership. There's no filter. There's
Yeah.
no.
We briefly saw Scott from a distance in the lobby.
Yeah.
So we know.
Well, I was talking to him yesterday too.
Oh, okay.
I had a couple hours before you got here where I got
significantly later. Than
exactly. But seeing Scott was awesome. My mother is a member of the Cats on Stamp study group.
This is the 5th time you've mentioned.
Have I mentioned that before? There's a talk on unusual wild cat species on stamps.
Interesting.
I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
I will probably be there for that. I'll definitely be there for that, I think.
Mhm.
Fun and interesting show and tell from the Mail of Ireland. Shout out to Olivia, who's definitely not watching this right now. My girlfriend in Northern Ireland. And then Sunday, it sort of quiets down. Sunday is, sort of the day when you get to tie up any loose ends, visit any dealers you may have missed. The auction's still going on. I think the collections are probably that last day. So
Yeah.
that's when a lot of people will be picking up their big hauls. But it's a great program. It's going to be a lot of fun. And then just flipping through, I saw
So 10 to 6 for people attending. It's 10 to 6.
10 to 6 is when
Friday,
the show's open.
Today
And
tomorrow,
and then
10
it
to
closes
4
at 4 on Sunday.
on Sunday.
Exactly. Just looking at this list of dealers is so great. I mean, Triple S, Tom Gates, one of the great postal history dealers, Labor Harris,
Yeah.
who we're going to have on one of these days. Great postal history
Out
dealer.
front and center. As soon as you go
First thing you see is Labor Harris, which is how it should be. Again, just looking at the list, it's so great. A to Z, Michael Ball from Arizona is fantastic. Mark Baker, Stanley Pillar, legendary dealer. It's just amazing looking through
all
this.
over the country.
Yeah.
People have traveled.
I know. I look at this and it's just like so many familiar faces. People we've spoken to. Eric Jackson.
Yep. Yeah.
One of our guests. Spink, Chris Green will be here
Yep.
from Canada. He
Yep.
was able to fly across the border.
Yeah.
He'll be in Chicago as well.
Will he?
Super excited. Yeah, he will. I'm super excited. He's actually spending the week in between shows in New York.
Oh,
So I'm excited to have some time to hang out with Chris as well, because again, one of my favorite episodes we've done.
Yeah.
So we'll be catching up with Chris Green hopefully this weekend. So it's fun having people that we've talked to here in person. We'll
Yeah.
talk to Eric Jackson again. We'll talk to Chris Green again. We'll grab Gordon for a minute at some point.
At some point. Yeah.
Hopefully we can talk to Skylar Rumsey about the auction. That's one
that'd be great.
I know he's busy. He's calling lots. The last thing I want when I'm calling a sale is for somebody
To be interrupted. and-
exactly stick a microphone in front of my face. But we'll make sure we try and do that at some point. But just flipping through this, it's like looking at an old yearbook.
Yeah.
You like recognize people and it's fun.
Yeah.
It really feels like it almost makes you forget that the last year and a half has been this void, that you're just back, we're back into it.
Yeah.
Like you see people and it feels the same. And I
Yeah.
like that it feels the same. I
Yeah.
like that it's I don't know. It's like a reunion.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
So
I feel like people are so excited. They want to get back to things. They want to kind of forget that last
exactly.
year kept them stuck inside.
This hobby on the one hand is
It's something that you can do within
you can be
confines of your own
exactly.
house.
You can sit in your den, you can put stamps in an album, you can hinge them, you can mount them, you can do the whole thing. And
Yeah.
and that's great. And I do that all the time. That's an important part of the hobby. But it's just as important to sit at the bar, get dinner, just talk, just meet people, shake their hands
Well,
again.
that's where the work gets done, is in person.
Exactly. So that's what I've missed so much, and that's what I've been getting out of again. I haven't even been in town 24 hours yet. We got in at noon yesterday, and I already feel like I could
You've
go home
accomplished
happy.
everything.
Exactly. It's like I've already seen people.
Yeah.
It's just fantastic.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Well, I'm
Westpex,
really looking forward to. I'm looking forward to walking around and talking to people. maybe
yeah, we're
getting
gonna have
their-
our mics. We're
Yeah.
gonna
So, question: how many of these dealers were at St. Louis also?
I would say only about like 5.
Really?
Yeah, these are mostly people I have not seen yet. Off the top of my head, I know Eric was there.
Okay.
I believe Stanley Pillar was there. Labor Harris was
So
there.
it'll be interesting to talk to them and see.
Yeah, for
how
most
they
for
feel like
the
things are
majority
progressing.
of people, this will
Yeah.
be their first in-person show.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. I mean, a lot of them have been doing great stuff online. And this is something maybe we can talk to Eric more about later, but it's one thing for stamp dealers, myself included, to be like, oh, it feels like we've been doing great business since, like sales have been through the roof.
Yeah.
But that means nothing if it's not quantifiable.
Yeah.
Like our feeling about how big. I'm sure you said, oh yeah, things.
Yeah.
Eric Jackson told me.
It was a completely different thing for me too, because we've always just been online.
Exactly.
So it's an interesting perspective for me to talk
Right.
to the people who
Right.
50 or more % of their business comes from being on the ground at shows like this.
So what Eric Jackson told me yesterday, as of June of this year, it's July.
Yeah.
As of June,
Yeah.
they had exceeded 2020's sales
That's incredible.
in 6 months. If they
That's
keep that pace up,
Yeah.
they will double their sales year over year.
Yeah.
And 2020 was already way up. Tammy, Eric's wife, told me they processed 1,400 more invoices
Wow.
in 2020 than 2019.
Yeah.
So here's data.
Yeah.
Here's hard facts that
I don't think we see that often.
no, again,
With not only
people-
that kind of progression, but the hard facts
exactly.
themselves.
People are always like, "Oh, we're doing great.
Yeah.
Business is booming."
Yeah.
But when you can sit down and say, "Oh yeah, as of June, we exceeded the prior 12 months."
Yeah.
That's the sort of data that's just like, wow, this hobby is not only not only surviving. People
Yeah.
always stand collecting, dying, but it's really growing
Yeah.
in a lot of ways. You don't look at the traditional metrics.
Yeah.
You don't look at how UN First Aid covers are selling. You talk to somebody like Eric Jackson, who is
Yeah.
the renowned specialist in revenues.
Yeah.
And that market is booming. He gets a
Right.
couple of big match medicine and wine stamp collections in.
Yeah.
He's selling things like never before. So I think that if we look at those metrics rather than just, oh, people aren't collecting plate blocks anymore or aren't collecting them as much as they used to.
Yeah.
I think that's why people, maybe worry that the hobby
Yeah.
is not as strong as it once was,
Mhm.
but it's just not true.
Well, no, that's a good point. I mean, you look at the metrics that people used to use to analyze the hobby 20 years ago, 30, 40 years ago, and they're not the same metrics that you need to analyze things by now
No,
to see the growth, and you need to change the way you're looking at stuff in order to stay up to date with
Exactly.
how things are progressing.
exactly. And again, talking to Eric, let's talk to Eric about that.
Yeah,
Let's go
yeah, I'd
track
love-
him down at some point.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's dealers are starting to set up. We're starting to, they're filling in around us.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I'm just really excited. I don't know if anybody has anything that they want to see or want to hear about
Yeah.
or want reported back on, drop a comment.
Yeah.
We'll wrap up in a couple of minutes so that we can go start. I want to go shake some more hands and
Yeah.
see some more people, but feel free, philatelypodcast@gmail.com
True.
or more
Tweet us.
realistically tweet at us. Just
Yeah.
tweet at us. What do you want to hear? What do you want to see? We're in San Francisco. We are your eyes and ears on the ground. If you
Yeah.
can't make it to Westpex, whether it's because of travel or whatnot, we're here for you. That's Michael and I want to, and we're going to be doing the same thing in
But if you
Chicago.
can't make it, try and make it. If you're nearby.
Exactly. Yeah, we're not saying don't come, obviously, but yeah, we are your eyes and ears. We are here for you. And if you ever get a chance to make it to Westpex, if not this year, I mean, Westpex was my first real show after I was hired by HR Harmer. I've been with the company about a week.
Yeah.
And I flew up to Westpex. And it was like my first work trip ever. It was the first time I'd ever I don't know, I felt like a part of a company.
So
And
this is sentimental to you.
it is,
as well.
it is. That was 2016.
Yeah.
So it's been 5 years. I went to Westpex, those first couple of years. It was my fifth Westpex overall. And I shouldn't say this because there might be other show chairmen listening. But I honestly, I think Westpex has a very strong case as the best show in America annually, not counting APS that moves around and is the biggest one. But I love Chicago Pex. I love Apex. I love all these shows. Westpex is unbeatable. Westpex is, from dealers and exhibitors, this is the big one.
Yeah.
And it's exciting to be back, and it's exciting for you to be here your first time.
My first time. Yeah. I was just thinking about how
For our three colleagues behind the camera, it's all their first time.
Yeah.
I feel like a grizzled veteran of Westpex.
No, it'll be because it already feels like a normal show that I've been to. I've been to so many shows before. I just
It
never
does.
made it
To
to
West
the
Coast.
West Coast.
This is
But
this is the one.
It feels normal again. It feels like
We're here. So fantastic. We normally go about half an hour. What do you say we wrap this one up after about 20 minutes though? So that we
Sounds
we'll
good.
go get set up. We'll go wander. We're getting our cameras set up with the microphones and everything. So
we actually got mics this time.
we actually have mics this time, whether they work or not. We're gonna hold them and look professional. Michael.
Yeah.
But that was
What, you were just showing it to me?
they're actually
These don't-
they're
these
not
don't-
they're not
They're wireless. Too.
They are wireless, but they're not turned on.
No, of course.
But we can just look really I don't know. Hey, we could call the Olympics after this too. We can provide commentary for the diving or something. I think would be fun.
And then talk about Olympics on stamps. The American Topical Association's here. But how can you not talk to them about?
That's true.
Do
That's
they
true.
have an Olympic themed?
I don't think they do,
Okay,
which would be
they'll be very timely.
it would be timely because we were sitting there watching soccer over breakfast and
Yeah.
watching volleyball over breakfast.
Yeah.
But yeah,
We
look,
don't need to.
we don't need to hold them anymore. This is the level of professionalism we go for. No, this is going to be a fun weekend. We're gonna, I think, have several weeks worth of content. We've got a great episode coming up Monday too.
Yes.
Not Westpex related.
Yeah.
We have we have Jesse Robitaille,
Yeah.
who is the editor of Canadian Stamp News. That'll be a really fun episode Monday. But after that, I think we're just gonna start
Yeah, it's just gonna be
pumping
a lot
out
of
Westpex content
Yeah.
until Chicago,
Yeah.
and then it'll be a bunch of Chicago content. So this, like our New Year's resolution and everything. I think we talked about, other than getting 1 million subscribers, doing more stuff in person.
Yeah.
And I'm really glad that we can finally do that.
Yeah.
Again, it was fun
feels
doing the FaceTime from an Olympics. See?
Yeah.
That's what the people want. No, again, it was fun to talk about this. It was fun doing the FaceTime with Alex from St. Louis,
Yeah.
but this feels
But
more
he-
normal. This is real. This is what we've been, working
Working
towards for the last year.
Yeah.
Again, we did this over Zoom so many times. We've done a couple episodes in person, but I feel like now we're here. We're back. We're doing this the way we envisioned it and the way we always wanted to do it. So huge thank you to everyone listening. Huge thank you to everyone from Westpex for all their support and everything. And stay tuned starting next week. And maybe we'll even do another live stream over the course.
We probably should.
Maybe like a Twitter live stream. I think would be fun. Follow us on Twitter. Where we just hold the phone
we
up.
can because we tried to do the dual. Never mind.
Exactly.
Never mind.
We'll do some Twitter live streams throughout the course. Maybe from the auction room with Skylar's auction, stuff like that. We'll just be trying to pump out as much stuff as possible.
Yeah. I'm really looking forward to it.
Me too.
Glad we're here.
Absolutely. A huge thank you to everyone listening.
Yeah.
And again, huge thank you to everyone from Westpex. Michael, let's go have some fun.
Yeah.
We'll talk to everyone real soon.
All right.